Hey guys, happy Tuesday to you. It's Ben here and it's time for another vlog. I know that this is supposed to be a weekly vlog and I know that it's almost been 2 weeks now, but I'm lazy. That's all you really need to know about me. Actually, I've been really busy lately. I do have a bunch of excuses and they're all invalid, but I'm gonna give a couple of them to you anyway. I had a bunch of stuff break around the house here. It got super cold and my well pump broke and my hot tub froze up and broke, and I've been just dealing with a bunch of crap lately. But this last week, it's been warming up, temperatures have been increasing, and my attitude has also been increasing, getting better because of that. I'm getting the things fixed that were broken, and I want to get back on track. So this is the vlog. Anyway, somebody had asked me about one of my side effects and asked me how it was coming. A side effect from Mounjaro, taking the Mounjaro that is, because I don't know if you guys that are taking the Mounjaro have noticed, but there are some side effects associated with that drug, right? And for you guys that haven't taken it yet or just kind of looking into it, there are some side effects associated with Mounjaro, and some of them are no joke. Now listen, I've said this a million times, right? People are on a spectrum. So nobody's the same and everybody handles medications in a different way. Like me, for instance, with Mounjaro. That stuff, I'm the poster child for how well that stuff worked. I lost the weight like you wouldn't believe, you guys. I went from 240 pounds, right, down to 149 pounds in less than a year. And I wasn't really, I was watching what I ate, but I wasn't really dieting. I wasn't really exercising as much as I am now to maintain, right? But I lost it so quick, it was ridiculous, right? And along the way, the side effects started kicking in. I mention the weight because it's an important part of my diabetes control, self-image as well, by the way, and health overall. But mostly, I got put on the Mounjaro for my diabetes. Because when I got my blood tested, my blood sugar, I was not only a 240, 250 pounder, right? I was weighing 240, 250 pounds. I wasn't the biggest guy on the planet, but I wasn't the most average guy either. I wasn't feeling good. Called into my doctor and complaining about some tingling in my foot, right? She tested my blood and my A1C was 10.6 and my blood glucose that day was 474. Ridiculous. I was full-blown diabetic and she wanted to get me on something immediately. She didn't want to wait around. So she suggested Mounjaro, and which I went on, and it worked really well. Like I said earlier, it worked great. In fact, some people can take it, right? I think just about everybody will lose weight on it, and it controls just about everybody's glucose pretty well. Some people need a bigger dose, some people don't need a big dose. I'm one of those people on the spectrum that medication worked incredibly well for, and I probably could have gone the whole time on the 2.5 dose. But for some reason, I talked to my doctor into saying, hey, 2.5 is working pretty good, and it's been a couple of months, maybe we should jack it up to 5. Why? Why mess with a good thing? If you guys are taking this thing, there's nothing that says that after a month on 2.5, you must move up to 5, and then after so much time on 5, you must move up to 7.5. Nothing at all that says that, right? There are some doctors out there that I've heard that are like sticking to that schedule, and that's ridiculous, right? Everybody is different. Your doctor should be looking at you and looking at that other patient as two different people. This person might need to be on it for a month, but this person, like me, could have just stayed on it the entire 8 or 9 months that I was on it, right? Because it worked so well. Well, I went up to 5. And my A1C and not my A1C, because I only tested my A1C before and then after, right? Before I started the Mounjaro and then after. So the before A1C was 10.6 and the after A1C was 5.4, right? And it's still, the last A1C check less than a month ago was 5.5, and I've been off the drug Mounjaro now for about 8 months or so. So to say that I'm a success at maintaining my blood glucose levels and my weight is a true statement, right? So far, so good. I understand that anything can go wrong, and that's why I'm doing this weekly vlog. So like I said, the drug worked incredibly well for me, right? But along with that A1C drop, I had a quick drop from 10.6 to 5.4 really, really fast. And they attribute some neuropathy and some pain in my foot to a condition known as TINS. It's treatment-induced neuropathy of diabetes. Sorry. And what happens is when your A1C drops so quickly, it basically shocks your nerves, right? Especially the ones in your extremities. This is pretty common in the fingers and in the toes. I think the doctors call them phalanges. But that's where they're most common, but it can occur anywhere. There are people out there that have had it in their back and on their sides and in their arms and stuff like that. I've got it in my right foot. Thankfully, that's the only place that it is. So I'm one of the unlucky ones that has it, but I'm one of the lucky ones that doesn't have it terrible, because there are worse cases out there than mine, and therefore I'm not complaining about it a bit. And with that being said, I want to say, if I had to go back and redo everything that I've done, I'd do it again. I'd go back and take that Mounjaro again, knowing, but this time I'd stay on the lower dose. I'd take my own advice this time. But I would go back and I would do it again, even knowing that I would risk getting treatment-induced neuropathy of diabetes. I'd watch that because I wasn't aware of that situation. Had I known that, I would have been tracking it a little bit more closely, and my doctor wasn't aware of it either. I asked her. But my neurologist is aware of it. He's got a couple other patients that he treats with that, and he's actually referring me to another doctor as part of the treatment regime. He's already got me on this stuff called duloxetine. I know. Maybe that's why I'm so happy lately. Duloxetine is an antidepressant, right? I asked my wife, I said, did I seem like I was down when I walked in there? It's actually prescribed for the pain in the foot. I don't know. Somehow it works it's not like it doesn't cover the pain. It somehow tricks the mind into thinking you don't have pain or something. I don't really know how it works. I'm not a scientific guy, but it works, kind of. It's not perfect. My foot still has that neuropathy and the pins and needles feeling, but thanks to all the treatments that I've been receiving and that medicine that I've been taking, I've been able to sleep through the night. In fact, I'm getting some great sleep, you guys. I'm getting between 5 and 7 hours a night, which is incredible, because when I first started complaining of my treatment-induced neuropathy of diabetes in my foot, the tingles, the neuropathy, and the pain, and when I first started complaining about that, I couldn't sleep more than a couple hours, and I'd be woken up, and I'd have to get up and walk around on it. Otherwise, there was nothing for it. There's no getting back to sleep after that, right? 2 or 3 hours a night, that was wearing on me. But now, right, with the treatment, I'm glad I went out and got treatment. I'm sleeping I'm getting a solid 5 to 7, and that's good sleep for me. All right, so I did mention that my blood sugar before was 474, right? And now, well, not now, but last week, the last time I did it, it was 126. So my doctor said as long as I'm below 130, we're doing pretty good with the diabetes, and I don't need to go back on any kind of diabetes medication whatsoever. That I am, in fact, maintaining it through diet and exercise. Not so much diet, you guys. I just really lowered my portions considerably. I really watch what I eat. I know what I can eat more of. So like when I'm feeling ravenous, I'll just go get a salad, right? Because I can eat a lot of salad and not do too much damage. That's way better than going to get a pizza and telling yourself, I'm only going to have 1 or 2 slices when you're hungry. That's dumb. Because that never works out, especially for guys like me, right? Look how easy it is for me to get off subject, y'all. So I was talking about my blood sugar, right? So the last A1C that I had was 5.4. So to say that my A1C and my blood sugar are all well and controlled now, thanks to getting it down with Mounjaro, and thanks to the way I'm eating and the way I'm walking and exercising and just changing some lifestyles in my life, right? For the better, for more healthy me, right? Things have been working pretty good. So my TINS in my foot, my neuropathy in my foot's probably my worst side effect out of all of them. Now, I had some side effects. The medicine worked great on me, but I also got just about every side effect under the book. I didn't get them terrible, right? Like I didn't get nausea so bad that I couldn't get out of bed like some people have been reporting. I would get nausea once or twice a week, and I would lay in bed in the morning until it settled down, and then I would get up. A couple of times I actually did have to run to the toilet to get sick. I got constipation super bad. That's probably the second worst side effect that I had was the constipation. So make sure that you're drinking plenty of liquids. I think that was my biggest problem, is I wasn't taking in enough water and stuff like that, right? This is before I started getting into the whole health thing, right? The diabetes is what started getting me healthy. Believe it or not, it was a wake-up call for me, right? So I realized I'm 240, 250 pounds. I'm not going to live much longer if I keep going like this. So I promised myself when I got down, and I don't like staying on medications any longer than I possibly need to. Thanks to Mounjaro, it got me off of blood pressure medication halfway through my dosages, right? So thank you for getting me off that. And now I'm off another one, thanks to diet and exercise and not having the diabetes inflamed anymore, right? I still have diabetes. It's just kind of in remission. We've had that discussion a couple videos ago. Anyway, so those are my side effects. Those are the worst ones anyway. There are a couple others, but those were the worst ones, right? Also, there's some unusual side effects to think about too. It changed my taste, right, in a lot of things. Most notably in junk food. I can't stomach junk food anymore. I love it. What a great side effect to have. I mean, I literally can. It's not something in my head. I'll eat it, and it tastes pretty good. I had a Brahms burger, right? I want a small little hamburger with nothing on it, just a hamburger, a piece of cheese, the bun, and a little bit of ketchup. That's it, right? I ate that Brahms burger, and I was like, man, I was pretty proud of myself. I used to eat 5 of those at a sitting, and I ate one. And I had that for lunch. I put it down. I'm like, okay, great. That's great. About an hour later, I'm puking that thing up. And I'm like, man, that is so weird. I wonder if I tried it again a month later. Same result, different restaurant, same thing. I was trying to reward myself with a hamburger about once every 2 weeks because that's my favorite thing, or it was my favorite thing. Now it's not. I can't eat them anymore unless my wife makes them and they're home cooked, hand patties, real meats. Anyway. So that's my side effect story. Anyway, guys, let's get on with the weight, okay? So I already told you my blood sugar last week was 126. My blood sugar this week, 117. It's on the way down. Things are going pretty good. If I was a betting man as far as the weight goes, I'm going to say I gained weight. I'm not going to say I gained weight here. I'm going to say I gained weight here in my thighs because I have been walking quite a bit lately. And my wife and I are trying to find stuff to do. It's cold here, so we're trying to find stuff to do inside. So a couple of days ago, we went up to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and went to an RV show and just walked around, looked at all the new RVs and hot tubs and side-by-sides and snowmobiles and all that kind of craps. We had a great time. But the point is, I got like 10,000 steps just walking around there, right? I was exhausted that night, and my foot hurt for 2 days afterwards. But I got my exercise in, and when I got out of the shower this morning, I noticed I have some definitions in my thighs again, thank goodness. So I am building that muscle back on my thighs. Mounjaro kind of decimated me as far as my muscle mass goes. So you have to be careful with that as well, you guys. I would totally recommend keeping in shape and keeping toned up while you're losing the weight. Because you're going to have to do it afterwards anyway, right? And it may look like you're losing weight slower because you're building that muscle as you go. That's okay. That's okay. Just get it all done at once. You guys would be done by now. If I had done this while I was on the Mounjaro, I'd be done right now. I'd be back to full health and not having to worry about rebuilding anything. I'd already be rebuilt. But I'm doing one thing at a time. That's just how I do stuff. Anyway, my weight last week, you guys, 161.4. I was pretty happy with that because that was a loss of about 2 or 3 pounds from the week prior. But I like to stay between 155 and 165. That's my goal, right? I give myself a nice 10 pound. So I like to keep closer to 160 than I am to 165. So losing 2 or 3 pounds and getting down to 161.4 was good. And I said last week, it wouldn't bother me if I lost another 1.4 pounds. But it's also not going to bother me if I gained another 1.4 because I developed some muscle. That's what I've been trying to do. Anyway, long story. Sorry. Let's get on with the weight. Last week, 161.4. And I know everybody's doing it in their heads. Drum roll, please. Ding! 161.6. 161.6. Damn happy with that, you guys. I am working it, man. I am feeling good. I'm feeling confident. And I'm happy as can be. I just can't believe how happy I am with the results that I'm getting. All right, you guys, let's wrap it up. I'm getting long-winded here, and I always do that. I always intend to make like a 10-minute video, and the thing goes 17, 18, 19. This feels like it's been 30 minutes. I apologize. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe.